If you are called in your spirit to launch a business, to start a new journey, to pave a new way for yourself and for your loved ones, I think it's so important that you walk by faith and not by sight. If you have been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, if you have been thinking about starting a business, if you have been thinking about creating a blog or going your own way, especially as Black women, you have to ignore the noise and take that leap of faith and trust that God will catch you. So this is what you need to hear. If you are interested in content creation or starting a YouTube channel, if you're interested in starting a business, if you're interested in just going your own way and doing things that you know in your spirit is right for you to do, this is the video you need to watch. So I'm gonna get right into it so that way we can dive in. Something that I wish I knew, especially, and if I'm looking over here, it's because I also have notes because I just wanted to come prepared for you all. Something that I really wish I knew. I wish I knew about the importance of taking leaps of faith, because I feel like we live in a world where it's so easy to get discouraged from doing the things that you're passionate about, or getting discouraged from, it's so easy to get discouraged from doing what you actually want to do because people may not see it as valuable. People may not see it as worthy. People may not think that it will yield an outcome that they think will be sustainable or desirable. And I feel like something that I found, especially in my journey, is that you really cannot go based off of what you can see or what other people think that they can see. If you are called in your spirit to launch a business, to start a new journey, to pave a new way for yourself and for your loved ones, I think it's so important that you walk by faith and not by sight. Like, if something is in your spirit to do, if God puts a vision in your spirit to start a new project, start a passion project, start a helping project, start anything, any new journey, it's important that you leap and don't worry about the fall. You have to jump and know that God will catch you. And that's why I just want to stress it. Like, if you have been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, if you have been thinking about starting a business, if you have been thinking about creating a blog or going your own way, especially as Black women, you have to ignore the noise and take that leap of faith and trust that God will catch you. If you wait until everything seems figured out, if you wait until it seems like the perfect time, I don't know how likely you'll be to get started. And of course, like I said, everything that me and Zay talk about is with accessibility and at the center. So of course there may be some things that you're just literally not able to do because of your circumstances, because of your environment, because of what you have access to, or because of your ability. So I completely understand that. But whatever is in your power to just start, to just do, even if it's something small, I can bet that it's so important for you to jump and take that leap of faith rather than waiting until every single thing seems like it's aligned. All you need to know is that that vision is in your spirit and that it's meant for you to pursue. So that is something that I really, really, really just wanted to come on here and say, because I feel like it can be so discouraging trying to start a business or launch a new brand or start a new project or pave a new way for yourself, put yourself out there, share your gifts, share your talents. It can be very easy for us as creatives or as entrepreneurs or as girl bosses or as content creators or whatever you want to call it. It can be very easy for us to get discouraged, especially since people in the world will cast their fears or cast their doubts, or even you yourself, whether it's your inner saboteur. It's so easy for us to get discouraged from shining our lights and paving our path forward, and no one is going to make you take that leap. No one is going to make you take that jump. So if you deny what you know you're supposed to jump and do, it'll just be a dream wasted, honestly. So I really just want to encourage any one of our lovelies who's watching this today, and even if you're not a lovely, if you're new here, I really want to encourage you to jump and take that leap of faith and know that God will catch you, and know that that leap of faith is going to lead you to living the life that you have always deeply wanted, but a life that you may have felt like you would never have access to because of the heaviness that the world has casted onto you. So jump, take that leap of faith, start the project. You don't have to have everything figured out. And you guys will notice this conversation, I'm not talking about LLCs, I'm not talking about business credit cards, I'm not talking about buying NBC and HGTV. I don't know. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm literally talking about leaps of faith, because you can't even get to the point where you can get an LLC or something if you don't actually believe in God's ability to help you start that project. So before you even get to that point, thinking about all the details, you really just need to take a leap of faith. And that leads into one of my other points. You do not have to have everything planned or figured out. It's impossible to have everything planned and figured out. Look at the way that the state of the world that we're in. That no one could have predicted a global pandemic. No one could have predicted whatever may have happened in your life because of the global pandemic. But if things happened that have caused you to have to really go inward and decide what's the best way for you to move forward, and if that's different from what you see anybody doing, just know that you're not alone, and it's okay to be different. It's okay to not have it all figured out. It's okay to really just trust in your journey, and trust that even if every single step of the way is not being shown to you, trust that every single step of the way you are covered, and what is meant for you to what is meant to happen for you will happen. You just have to take those steps, even if you can't see the whole path. I hope that makes sense, and I hope, I'm really trying to be as clear as possible, because I feel like it's really important in any line of work that you do for you to really don't worry about having every single thing figured out. Because I feel like, I know me, I'm 22 years old. I'm like, I don't want to call myself a perfectionist, but I feel like, I don't know what the term is. It's like organization kids. Like, we really be trying really hard to have everything figured out, trying to do things by a T, trying to just have everything mapped out. And I feel like, while yes, that's good, a lot of work can get done in that way, it also really kind of stifles you from taking chances on yourself that's also meant for you to take. Just do whatever is in your purview to do to start. Just start. Like, you have to start from somewhere. And that also leads to my next point. Something that I wish that I knew was to not worry so much in the beginning or at the initial stages. I feel like in the beginning, we're supposed to experiment. In the beginning, we're supposed to figure it out. Do not worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the views. Don't worry about the specific amount of money. Do not worry about anything, really. It's really not good for us to worry about anything, especially if you're a person of faith. And it's a journey. It's not supposed to, as soon as you start something, everything's going to be outlined for you. However, what is meant for you is going to happen with ease. And I feel like when you trust what God puts in your spirit to do, things do become easier and things do become clearer. But that's the thing that people don't tell you about content creation or about starting your business. You really have to have faith in what you cannot see. You don't have to see 150,000 subscribers. You don't have to see $150,000 in your bank account as soon as you start a business. You don't have to see the large community of people that you will impact, but you have to know and trust in the vision that you're being called to do. You have to trust in that. And another example of that could be when me and Azay started justforblackgirls.com, when me and Azay started the Getting Back to the Basic Self-Care series that we're doing here on the YouTube channel. When me and Azay started our direct mutual aid project, when me and her started modeling, we could not understand the impact that our work would have on Black women, especially Black women who struggle with their mental health. Like, when me and her published Sun-Kissed Child Poetry in Black Life, which is my debut poetry book, and when me and her did that, we did not know how many Black women all over the world would be so positively impacted. When Azay started to share about natural hair and self-care on the channel, and when I did as well, we did not know how many Black women would be learning how to take care of themselves in accessible ways. When we started the Black Girl Self-Care brand, we did not know how many Black women will find healing and joy through our business and through our products and through our mission. We did not know how many people would be positively impacted, because in the beginning, you can't see how many. You just have to trust in your spirit that what you're being called to do, you're being called to do it for a bigger purpose that's bigger than you. And that's what's gonna really sustain you in the times where the numbers are not matching up, in the times where you may feel discouraged because you're working and you're doing all the things that people are saying. People say, oh, you have to be consistent, just keep posting, post every week, or reach out to your networks, or do these things and do those things. And I feel like that's great, but sometimes it's not even about the logic of things. Sometimes it's not about constantly beating yourself up to keep up with ever-changing algorithms. Sometimes what's really going to sustain you and give you that push that you need to go forward truly is just your faith in your vision, and you knowing that what you're doing is for a higher purpose. Something that I also wish that I knew was just the importance of having a very positively engaged community. I feel like as content creators or as business owners, it's very easy to not recognize or fully appreciate slow growth. We want things immediately, we expect things to come quickly, and when they don't, we think that there's something wrong. And I'm guilty of that in the past as well, just being typically impatient. Like, I don't know if it's a Sagittarius thing, but that's something that I had to learn. I feel like we sometimes underestimate just how important it is to grow a truly engaged community. And sometimes we underestimate just the value of actually having a genuine community who understands you, who you're helping, who you're serving. And that's a very important thing in terms of starting a content creator journey or starting a business. You have to know your audience, and you have to know who you serve, and you have to genuinely build with the people whom you are serving. Everything that me and Azay do is all about Black women, Black queer people, mental health, self-love, self-care, radical self-care, community healing. And that has led us slowly but surely to actually be in community with Black women and Black queer people all over the world. And you couldn't have told me that we would have an engaged community like this. I didn't know that, initially, but I had to really just appreciate every new community member, every new conversation we as a community would have, every new thing that me and Azay would talk about, and just appreciating the slow growth of things. Because we live in a microwavable society, it's very easy to be impatient, it's very easy to get discouraged, and it's very easy to think that you won't find your tribe. You will find your tribe. You will find the people who are meant to be a part of your online safe spaces. You will find the people who are meant to benefit from what you do in your business. You will find the people who are meant to learn and grow and engage with you. You just have to know that and keep going amidst that growth being seemingly slow. You have to trust that you will find your community, and your community will find you. They will love you and they will stick with you. And that goes such a long way and such a farther way than just virality. Anything can blow up and have 1 million, but what happens after that 1 million? Where's your community? Who are the people who know what you stand for? Who are the people who appreciate all of who you are and not just the one thing that you're wanting to blow up? That's so much more valuable than immediate virality or immediate fast growth or seemingly fast success. And another thing I wanted to say to anyone who is interested in starting a business, going further in their content creation journey, and becoming an entrepreneur, or just paving a new path for themselves, please let go of imposter syndrome. Like, the devil is a liar. You are talented. You are gifted. You do have a purpose and a light in this world, and this world needs you to shine your light. This world needs you to share your gifts so that way you can inspire and encourage other people to do the same. So all that imposter syndrome stuff, it really has to go, so that way you can be comfortable and confident taking those leaps of faith and knowing that your community and your business and your channels and everything will grow. Let go of that imposter syndrome because it does not positively serve you. Leave that in like 2020. Leave that way behind. Leave it behind, because it's time for us, especially as children of God, to be confident. Like, I literally know there's a verse. It's like, you don't light a lamp and then put it under something. I'm gonna put it up here. You have to shine your light brightly so that way you can do the work that you are meant to do here. It does not serve anyone positively for you to not believe in yourself. It does not serve anyone positively for you to deny the light that is within you, especially because of darkness and people's projected darkness. How people think about you and what people think about you don't have nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. So God bless them, and do what you know you have to do. Be on your job. Let go of imposter syndrome so that way you can really show up and use the gifts that have been ordained to you. And I talked about this thing before. Do not be afraid to start again. Do not be afraid of rebranding. Do not be afraid of fixing something up, revamping it, starting it over, trying to do new things. Do not be afraid to start again. I feel like sometimes too, we may start something and we may not fully commit, or we may be upset because we felt like we have fully committed and it didn't yield the results, and then we take a break from it. It's okay to take a break, but return to that thing that you know you're meant to do. Even if it may seem difficult, even if it may seem like it may be to no avail, you just have to trust that it's okay for you to start again. And when you do start again, you're coming back with experience. You're not starting from scratch. You are literally starting with experience, and that experience is going to make the time when you start again even more successful than whatever it was in the past. So do not be afraid to start again. And I feel like that's especially important for people who are doing businesses. Like, most of us are learning. Azay and I have never ran any businesses prior to this. We're literally learning, and we have to learn through trial and error. So it's important to not be afraid to start again. We've revamped JFBG plenty of times. We've had to take many breaks away from the YouTube channel because we were working on other projects that also were essential to building the YouTube, or we had to step away from YouTube and then work on other projects that would build the other projects. Like, you just have to not be afraid to start things over. It's not even starting over. Don't be afraid to start things again and give it a revamp, because when you come back, you're going to come back better than ever. So if there's any content creators, or if there's any business owners who have taken a break and they've been feeling demotivated, discouraged, depressed, just know that when you come back, God will make sure that the people who are meant to be around you will be ready for you, will be ready to receive what you're about to share. So please do come back and share your art and share your work and share your story, because there are people who need to see it, people who need to hear it, and people who need to be inspired by it. So period. Do not be afraid to come back and do the thing that you know you really, really, really want to do. I really think another thing that is very important is not being afraid to take up space. Like, you need to show up in full. You need to show up confidently, radiantly. You need to show up as who you really are. I really do think that people are confident, and then the world gives us reasons not to be. It's like the world tries to discourage us and make us stray away from who we actually have always been and who we really are. And it's our job to always make sure that we return to ourselves and not allow how this world treats us to make us stray away from what we're supposed to be doing. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to shine your light. It does not matter who may be seemingly doing what you're supposed to do. There is nobody in this world like you, and there is space for everyone to be successful and to live the dreams that they truly, truly, truly want. So you don't have to hide. You don't have to be discouraged. You don't have to be afraid or fearful or worried or feel any imposter syndrome. You need to come out of hiding and show the world what you know you're supposed to show to the world. I don't know if that's a business. I don't know if that's sharing your skills and your talents through content creation or through your art or through your whatever medium. I don't know what it is, but let it out. Let your creativity sing. Let it shine. Let it radiate throughout the world. Let your words positively move people to also feel like going on. So do not be afraid to take up space. And I truly feel like these things are so important to making the most of 2023, and also just making the most of what you're trying to build and do for yourself as a whole. Like, if you're trying to create a business, if you're trying to take a new path and pursue your creativity, it's so important that you really, really, really are not afraid to bring to the world what you know you want to see and what you know is going to positively impact those in your community. And another thing that I wish I knew and that I really want to share with you all, especially regarding taking a leap of faith and starting your business, is that it's so, so important to celebrate how far you have come. You have come a long way, and taking some time to reflect on your journey will actually give you the motivation to continue doing what you know you really want to do. So I really, when writing Sun-Kissed Child and just thinking about the kind of business that I wanted to create with the Zay, I really, really, really had to take an honest look at my mental health journey. And as much as that felt difficult, I really feel like it became celebratory. I had to recognize, like, look at how much God has allowed me to triumph over. Look at how much my testimony has allowed me to now have access, a different level of access to the gifts that I know I'm supposed to share. So I really feel like celebrating how far you have come and looking at what you have triumphed over really, really, really help you have that push and that oomph to take leaps of faith to start building the life you really want to live. And something that I have been heavily thinking about, especially as I'm continuing to build and go forward in my own content creation journey and in my own entrepreneur journey, I really have been coming to the point of, like, asking myself, like, what has God revealed to me through my testimony? And always remembering what God has revealed to me through my testimony really, really motivates me in terms of always remembering just how important mental health is to me and to the members of my and Zay's communities. Like, at the basis of every single thing that we do, it's always about mental health wellness. It's always about self-care. It's all about preserving our healing and our joy despite whatever this world throws at us. And when I look at my story and how far God has allowed me to come, and what has motivated Sun-Kissed Child, what has motivated every single affirmation that me and Zay create, every single blog post, every single self-care tip, trick, anything, I'm really just like, thank goodness. Because had I not learned about the importance of taking care of my own mental health journey, had I not learned about the importance of actually prioritizing my self-care, me and Zay would not be able to have this community of people who also care about those things. So I just really charge you all to think about your story, think about your testimony, and about how that will impact the kind of business and the kind of life and the kind of content and the kind of art that you really want to create. Do not shy away from all of your experiences. Do not shy away from all of what makes you you. Do not shy away from the gifts that you know you have, but you have just maybe not have felt safe enough in sharing. Don't shy away from the things that actually move you and that actually make you feel lit up inside. So do not shy away from your passions. I feel like that's also just important. So to anyone who has been thinking about starting a business, to anyone who has been thinking about getting into content creation, whether that's starting a YouTube channel, sharing your art, pursuing a new hobby, paving any kind of new path forward, really hope that you are able to take those leaps of faith so that way you can do what you know you are meant to do. If any of you guys want to know more about Sun-Kissed Child, please be sure to check out SierraEspeaks.com. You guys can also shop my and Azee's Black Girl Self-Care brand at SierraEspeaks.com/shop. So please be sure to check those things out and let me know if any of this resonated with you. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, please be sure to leave a pink heart, and I will see you all next time. Bye.